Fischer, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you both for being here today. General Geo, I've appreciated our discussions on the challenges of detecting, characterizing, and tracking potential threats to our homeland. And most Americans are fully aware of the incident with the Chinese balloon, but NORTHCOM has other responsibilities as well, especially with protecting the homeland from the more advanced threats that are out there, which would include ballistic and cruise missiles. Why is having that improved domain awareness, which is the ability to detect and track the threats and also to provide a clear threat picture of what's out there and to be able to discriminate what you're seeing, why is that so important to defending our homeland?
Senator, it's important because it gives us time to inform leaders, make decisions, and enact defeat mechanisms to defeat these threats that are coming in. You mentioned the discrimination capability. As the threat becomes more advanced and they can put out decoys, we could needlessly shoot interceptors at objects that are not a threat, but having the discrimination radar make sure that we can actually shoot and kill the warhead that would be a threat. And the other thing I would quickly say, Senator, is the capabilities are growing so much by the adversary that domain awareness you mentioned needs to push out further away from our shores, detect earlier, characterize them earlier, as you mentioned, so we have more time to employ the defense capabilities that we have.
Are we moving quickly enough?
Senator, we're right on the edge. I think that we're moving quickly, and I appreciate all the support from this body and the services, but we can't pause at all because the adversaries, and multiple adversaries, not just one, are growing very, very quickly, and it really is at an alarming rate.
I'm concerned about what we're seeing in the President's budget request for FY 2025. The administration decreases spending for the Glide Phase Interceptor program, and it's stating it's going to be delivered in 2035. Yet in the NDAA of FY 24 in Section 1666, that requires the Missile Defense Agency to achieve an initial operational capability of that program by December 31st, 2029. How do you respond to my concerns?
Senator, my response is that I view hypersonics as perhaps the most destabilizing threat that we have out there because of the fast speed, and more than that, the maneuverability and the unpredictability on where it will impact as opposed to a ballistic missile, which is fairly predictable. I've worked very closely in my short period of time with MDA. I'm pleased with some of the efforts that they're doing to intercept in the glide phase, and then also using existing systems such as the SM-6 to adapt against that threat. And then I'm also very pleased with what MDA is doing with the HBTSS, the satellite capability to detect and track hypersonics.
You know, just yesterday, we heard from a senior analyst with the National Air and Space Intelligence Center. He told Congress that, quote, China now has the world's leading hypersonic arsenal. So given the pace that we're seeing with Russia and with China as they advance their hypersonic weapons programs, should the department accelerate the development of those hypersonic defense systems, really when it is technically feasible to do so?
Senator, I support moving all of our capabilities against the strategic threats that you mentioned as far left as possible based on the growing and consistently growing capabilities of our adversaries.
Thank you. General Richardson, thank you for all the work that you have done and your service to this country. When we talk about China and the Belt and Road initiatives, you answered Senator King on that, but when you're looking at the longer-term strategies that China has in the buying that they continue to do in your area of responsibility, how serious a threat is that?
I look at it as a serious threat because of the ability of these state-owned, controlled by the government companies. If I just take the Panama Canal and the 5 state-owned enterprises that are along either side of the Panama Canal, and that's a very important strategic line of communication. And so there are a lot of large implications there in terms of all the critical infrastructure, the deep water ports, the 5G space, safe city, smart city technology. So very concerning.
Thank you, and thank you, General Gio. You made comments, I think it was yesterday before the House Committee, or 2 days ago before the House Armed Services Committee, about seeing, or the possibility of seeing in the very near future of Chinese aircraft in closeness to our homeland. I thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Thank you, Senator Fisher.